Hey guys, so we're going to be working on a 2005 Kawasaki KFX 400. It's got really bad front hub bearings, and it's got a few other issues, but throughout the series on my YouTube channel you're going to see what I'll be doing to it. So we're going to remove the front wheels on here. It's 17 millimeter. The black cotter pin you got to remove right here. Easiest way for me is linesman. Here's side cutters, or dikes as they're called. I up on it, squeezing it. It's a 19 millimeter hub nut right here. But before we do that, let's remove the brake caliper and get this out of our way, because this is going to come off with the brake rotor. Slide out. That's it. Brake shoes right here. That's the bracket it's on. Just put them right here. And that's your hub. This one has no wobble. These bearings are good, but I bought a kit that comes with all four for the front with the seals. Got that 19 millimeter socket. Got 3. Slides right off. Sometimes they're a little tricky. That one came off. Just little rings that go on the raceways and the bearings. So this one, both sides are a little bit different. So this is on the back, this is the front. I just separate them. And we have 2 seals. I just pry them off. There's the front seal or the rear seal. I'm sorry, the rear seal, front seal, both bearings. Now you could put them on a press, but some people don't have money like that, so just grab a flathead screwdriver and I work both sides of the raceways, nice and gentle. Don't have to be crazy. It's already coming free. Inside here there is a washer that goes on the cone hub. And make sure you put that back in it the same way. And you can see the cone hub on the inside. It'll move side to side. You get that flathead screwdriver right on that bearing. Again, you don't have to go too crazy. Almost there. All right. Show you what I'm talking about. that cone washer. Make sure this goes in the right way. I have these different size bushings that were for it, but it fits kind of perfect around there. I don't want to beat on the brake disc on the wood. For this one, we'll use a shaft right on the bearing, pound it out. So almost there, and it's coming out perfectly straight, so you know we're doing a good job. One more nice hit. And it's out. Didn't damage anything, so. We got the new bearings here. I had them soaking in greaseless lubricant. It's that greaseless lubricant I had them soak in. I know they're sealed bearings, but just like to be a little extra. The name on it. We'll do the front bearing first, or rear bearing first, sorry. Have a little black grease here. And the raceway, some on the inside. Line it up. And then we're going to use this nice soft aluminum bushing that was for that Caltech, and it fits perfectly on that bearing. As you can see, you want to hit this in perfectly straight. Use the brass hammer. Take our time. Nice and easy. Okay, so drove it in flush, but you need to go down lower than that because you got that seal. So we're going to finish driving in this bearing, and we're going to try to hit it on the outside of the raceway if you don't want to damage the bearing. So I got a socket that perfectly goes on the outside of the raceway. I'll show you on this bearing. Nice and flush. As you can see, I mean, yeah, you can put this on a press and press them in, but I've been doing them like this for years. Just line it up. Again, brass hammer. Take your time. Perfect fit. So that's the back of the bearing. Got the seal. Put a little grease on it. Grease it up real nice. Put some grease in here. Same way you want to work the seal. I'll use the back of the socket. It's flatter. Right on top and just slowly work it in. And there it is. So this is that back ring that goes in this seal. And before I put these in, I normally clean them with some sandpaper. As you can see, this is not going to seal against this seal. This needs to be nice and clean. You're not trying to take any metal off, you're just trying to clean it. Brush wheel, sandpaper, whatever you got. It's cleaner, but not what I like. I'll put it on a drill. These brush wheels. Watch your fingers. Slowly spin it with your thumb. And that looks a lot better. And that was original. That's from the front. That's the rear. So we're back over here at the four-wheeler. We're at the hub right here. And if you forget how this goes on, and you took those bearings out, well, we know this is the rear of the hub, so that's going to slide in like that. I don't want to press it in yet. And this guy, see on the inside, it's angled. So we set this, and we got that little spacer. It's not really a spacer, it's another bearing basically, and that rides right in this area right here. So we know that that's the back, but this goes back here, so this will have to go just like that. You can drop it straight in there, so it's seated, just sits in there. Go back to the bench, show you the rest. I put a towel down before everybody on YouTube shames me. I'm going to damage this, but yeah. So we got the old rear bearing, old rear seal, new bearing in, new rear seal in. We got that that spacer in there, ballooned the correct way. Put one or two pumps in here. If you'd like to go in water, then thank me later. Got some grease pumped in there, got it on the raceway. We'll put some on the bearing here. Set this right there. I mean, we're not working on a car where we got to press them in, you know, on a press. So don't be afraid to do this at home. I mean, I am, so. For the back bearing, I used a 32mm socket and the seal, and that fit perfect. I used this to push in the seal. And for the front bearing, which is this guy, I'm going to use it's a 1-inch socket, and that fits perfect. And again, we can use this for the seal also. So nice and easy, working all four sides. Then we got that spacer we're going to clean up. It's on the small side of the bearing, the front of the hub, between that seal. Clean up both sides. So now we got our bearing spacer and all nice and cleaned up. And then our
seal. Some grease. I'll just up with some grease. Put some here. And we got our Kawasaki.
And then we got our bearing spacer. Back it up with some grease. I'll put a lock because now this is the final step. I want that shaft nice and greased up. Grease up the shaft here. Or the inner hub, whatever you want to call it. And this is the back side. Slide it on. Got a washer. Or the castle nut. Torque this down to 47 foot-pounds. We put a new cotter pin in there. And the left side of the bike is done. Spins freely. Right side is quad here. 6mm Allen key head. With the cotter pin. Again, 19mm. The rear spacer for the bearings. You can see that seal's shot. Sticking off the bench. The rear bearing first. The seal off. Seal the seal. The ring. You have to clean that up. Bearing's almost out. And on this side, there comes out the bearing. Check this bearing out. There's supposed to be a seal there, like that. $14. It's just a good thing to do. So we'll hit that bearing out, put it over. So I clean the inside out. Some brake clean and a dirty towel. Took all that old grease out. The other one it wasn't as bad as this. So let's put the rear bearing in first. See, that's a little crooked. Again, we're going to use that 32mm socket. Do ball paint. Take your time. You want to try to seat it perfectly straight. That's it. Put the rear seal on. Fill that up with grease. Okay. Rear seal. Do that. Clean up the spacer. Brush wheel. Clean them up. For the seal. So it's going to keep out the water. That's it. Put the hose shaft in grease. Have to wiggle it a little bit. And it's seated. Got the washer. Castle nut. We're gonna grab our torque wrench. 19mm. that's it. Plate goes on. Wheel. KFX, their comb. They make sure the comb part goes towards the inside of the wheel. Got to turn down to 2. The other side. Plate. I know this is overkill, but you never know how a rider is. Last thing we need is one of these nuts to seize up on us. Taking that last one that I put in first, back out. Anti-seize. See how that wheel just shifted? That's why you gotta do star pattern. Just drop it down and torque these nuts.